How hackers or scammers can live off the land to ultimately cause you reputation damage and damage to your family's livelihood. Recently, one of my elderly relatives fell victim to a common scammer's tactic. It involved getting them to install some software that allowed remote access to the computer. In it, the scammer was on the phone for 4 hours trying to help fix the problem they had created. Thankfully, this was not one of those sad cases where a lot of money was lost, more my relative's pride. Upon investigation of the computer, I discovered some software I had never heard of before called System Lock. This is very old software that appears to have been created to solve a problem that had existed in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s with Windows-based computers. Essentially, its purpose seems to be like a screensaver that needs a password to unlock. Upon digging around on Virus Total, it turned out this was detected by only 4 endpoint security products. Everyone else classified it as clean. As the software is so old, it was not designed to run properly on Windows 10. This was then added to the startup folder. However, it was possible to get a short window when the computer started to access certain functions prior to this happening. At some point, the software was loaded, and I believe it had showed a message to call a phone number here in Australia to unlock the computer. This seems to have been able to get onto the computer via another legitimate application that many IT service companies and MSPs have or are using called Screen Connect. I'm not exactly sure how this got onto the computer, however you would probably know it is very powerful software and gives you the ability to remote control a device. During the phone call, it seems like the scammer also had my relative download and install AnyDesk. Again, these are all legitimate software programs, but have been used for a malicious purpose. The problem is because they are legitimate applications, they are not blocked or detected by any endpoint security product. Currently, the only way I'm aware of this can be solved is with some sort of application or software whitelisting service running on the endpoint device. When you read reports of hackers and what they do to live off the land when they initially gain access to a system, is to use built-in Windows components such as Command Prompt, PowerShell, and various other applications to look to escalate privileges or download their malicious or just the next step in a series of payloads, which then get them closer to their goal. Going back to the situation with my relative, the other component used here is the old school telephone. This was probably the most persuasive part of the exercise. They had convinced them that they had deposited $80,000 into their account by accident, and could they please return it to this specific bank account, and if anyone asked, to tell them it's a personal account for a nephew. All the while, they were impersonating being from Microsoft. Luckily, my relative was not able to complete this transaction and the scammer's efforts were thwarted. However, it could very easily have gone the other way. Now, if this happened to you or one of your clients, this ultimately could cost you both a lot of lost time, stress, anxiety, and ultimately money, possibly putting you out of business and damaging your reputation. So how do you avoid suffering this fate? Obviously, you want to have a multi-layered approach with your cybersecurity protections. This helps mitigate against failures of any one component in the layers. Those layers would need to compromise of both technical controls, for example, email security, firewalls, and other technical controls, as well as addressing the human element, which is much more important. Addressing the human element involves ongoing awareness training. The reason this is very important is all types of phishing, smishing, vishing, hacking, and scamming use our human weaknesses against us. They're all rooted in psychological principles. If you're unsure of a situation, reach out to us and we'll be happy to help with an independent assessment. To do that, you can go to www.reliantshield.com/contact or scan the QR code on the screen. How do you protect your clients and help others from falling victim? Communicate the guidance in this video to your clients, get on the front foot so they see you as their trusted advisor, properly set up their email system to prevent spoofing attacks, implement a robust multi-layered cybersecurity approach across your client systems that address both the technical and human controls. Continually talk with your clients about this, even if they initially won't take your advice. You know they need it, so be their trusted advisor. Communicate a variation of the guidance in this video to any leads or prospects that you're trying to currently win their business. If you want to learn more on what some of the layers you should be providing your clients include, then reach out to us, watch or listen on for access to free ongoing tips. If you are the CEO, director or business owner of an MSP or IT services company and want to learn more about how to avoid making big expensive mistakes, what you can do to prevent ransomware cyber attacks against you and ensure that you don't have your reputation and family's livelihood damaged, then go to www.reliantshield.com/tips or take out your mobile phone, open the camera app and then scan the QR code on the screen. Once on the page, just enter your first name, last name and email address and press the submit button. From then on in, every week you'll receive actionable steps in your email inbox that you can use to protect your reputation, family's livelihood, and implement robust cybersecurity protections in your business, that of your clients, and not be the cause of them suffering a ransomware attack. As always, dedicated to protecting your reputation and family's livelihood. Stay safe, thanks for watching and have a great day.